Hi, everybody. Okay, so I've been studying astrology and practicing astrology for a really long time, like probably longer than some of you have been alive. I'm kind of old, but I've never recorded a video about it before, much less on Zoom. So we'll see how this goes. Bear with me. Um, hey, I want to start out by telling you before we get into December's aspects about the Old Farmer's Almanac. Now, this little thing has been going since 1792, and Ben Franklin was a really great astrologer, and he was one of the founders, one of the two founders of this. And this comes out every year, and it's really very astrology centric, and it has a pretty decent ephemeris, not as thorough as most. If you were to buy a real ephemeris, it would be huge, but it's like a good little monthly summary just to keep track of kind of like the major aspects that are going on. So I recommend this little thing. I buy it every year. Okay. So I'm shooting this on December 1st in the afternoon. And today, let's check out the wheel here. So today, Neptune is finally, after 5 months or so, I think he went retrograde in June. After 5 months, he is going to start to go forward again. See this S? That means stationary, which means that before the planets goes forward, it's going to kind of come to a real slowdown and stop moving in the sky, at least how it appears to us from Earth, and stay still, that's stationary, before it starts to spin the other way, forward motion. Okay, so Neptune let me backtrack. Neptune rules things like dreams, the imagination, psychic ability, talking to dead people, I would say, the arts, creativity, drugs, alcohol, fantasy land, escapism. If I were to pick like a person or a character to embody Neptune, I would say Jim Morrison would be a great example. Okay, so Neptune is in his home sign of Pisces. He rules Pisces. So he's really happy here, and he's going to be even happier moving forward soon. So that's something to look forward to. Okay. Okay, on December 3rd, in a couple of days, we're going to have a new moon on steroids, meaning it's going to be a solar eclipse in Sagittarius, so right here. So an eclipse happens not that often, and the reason that it's occasional is because the moon sometimes is above or below the elliptical, which is the imaginary plane that the Earth and the sun are on. So when the moon's node, which is just a point in the sky, when that node is equal, that's when we get an eclipse with the shadow either on the moon or on the sun. Okay, so in Sagittarius, this eclipse is going to really like shake up the areas in your life that Sagittarius rules. For instance, higher education. You may be in college and have decided by next month that you don't want to go back next semester. You want to go be a snowboard bum out at Whistler, or you may want to drop out of college for to get certified in funeral services or to become an electrician. So a big like upheaval in education wouldn't surprise me to see a lot of people kind of second guessing their original educational choices. Another realm that Sadge rules is travel, charity, being generous to other people. So those areas are going to get a little shake up. So it's not a bad thing. But those effects from the eclipse will probably last about 6 months. It's a good time to like start new projects when it's a full moon. And letting go of things, really kind of think back in the last year of what wasn't really working for you. And the first 2 weeks after this new moon, so like the first 2 weeks in December might be a really good time to like throw out the old and like bring in a new paradigm for yourself. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Forwarded this to December 11th, as you can see. This is a great astrology software program. It's a little tricky to learn how to use. It's called SolarFire. There's a bunch of them out there, but this is kind of, I think, the go-to one that most astrologers use. The learning curve is steep, but once you get the hang of it, it's very useful if you're super into astrology or if you're doing readings for clients. Okay. So December 11th, here we have a kind of a gnarly aspect. We have Venus here conjunct Pluto over here. And this is happening in Capricorn. Okay, so what does this mean in English? All right. If you're in a relationship, get ready. Batten down the hatches, as they would say in the old-timey sailing days. All right, so Venus is the planet of love and beauty and, you know, just enjoying good food and nice music and the finer things in life and just having everything be like copacetic and lovely and easygoing. All right, then in comes Pluto, who's like the polar opposite. He's the god of the underworld. And he is just no holds barred about just ripping the Band-Aid off and digging in and like carving out the cancer. And I actually worked on a yacht once with a captain who dug out his own cancer. So weird. I just remembered that. Anyway, that's Pluto. He's just really kind of gnarly. He brings stuff up from the surface that's been buried by our subconscious and forces us to look at it and to deal with it. So Venus, who rules like love and relationships and all things like beautiful and fluffy, she obviously doesn't like hanging out with Pluto. Pluto doesn't give a shit. He's coming in whether she likes it or not. And so I would say on December 11th, when this happens, really make an effort to be well rested, well fed for like the couple of weeks following. And because if you're less likely to get broadsided by some sort of like revelation that would be unpleasant, like you find out your boyfriend's sexting with some other woman. You know, if you're like, you have low blood sugar and you're hangry and you're tired, you know, you're not going to be in a good mental place to deal with that kind of stressful situation in a level-headed way. So I would say be prepared for possible shit shows regarding relationships for 2 weeks in December. And I'll tell you why. Even though I'm like looking at my little notes here, even though she conjuncts Pluto on the 11th, what's going to happen on the 19th is Venus is going to start to go backward in the sky from our vantage point. She's going to go retrograde, which means she's going to move away from Pluto. But then when she starts to turn around and come back, she's going to hit him again. She's going to hit that point in the sky where he is. And they are going to be together again on, I think, around Christmas. All right. So I would say from, she's going to meet up with them again on the 23rd. So from the 11th to the 23rd, and possibly a couple of days after that, just be ready for anything and try to handle things. Don't fly off the handle, because this stuff is going to come up. It's inevitable. Something in your life is going to bubble up that you don't want to deal with. So just kind of, you know, forewarned is forearmed. I'm not trying to be all like doom and gloom, Debbie Downer here, but like if you know that 2 week period is going to be a little sketchy, then prepare for it. Okay. The best of of your ability. All right. A nice aspect, however, is on December 18th, we have a full moon in Gemini. So let's see. There she is over here in Gemini, and the sun opposite her over here. So when the full moon is in Gemini, people are going to be like, blah, 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 like a lot of chatting, a lot of, communication. People are like little radios. If you know any Geminis, you know what I mean. They love to converse. That would actually be a good night for a cocktail party or to get together with friends. People are usually gregarious and chatty, and it should be good. And there don't seem to be too many terrible aspects going on. So that's really nice. That'll give us a break from some of the heavier energy that we've been experiencing in December. And the following couple of nights later, we have Solstice. Boom, there you go. It's actually, Solstice actually really starts at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. And here we go. So solstice is when the sun is exactly entering Capricorn. And in Australia, it's the beginning of summer. Yay for them. I'm kind of envious. But here, it's a nice night to sort of just be quiet and reflect. I light candles and incense and put on like Gregorian chants and get all like woo woo. I just love it. The days are going to start to become longer. Thank God. So it's a nice pagan-y holiday. I love it. Okay, so on December 23rd, and we're going to be feeling the effects of this one pretty much all month too. On December 23rd, we've got Saturn squaring Uranus again. This is the third time this year. These two planets, let me draw on here where we are. Okay, so we've got Saturn over here in this red line. Up to Uranus is the square. And, if you're doing a birth chart, even right now, December 1st, I would consider, with the tightness of them being within 90 degrees, that orb, I would definitely consider it a square already. So we're going to have more of the same. Now, interestingly, Saturn over here in Aquarius is a really progressive sign, and they're very forward thinking. And Saturn is very conservative. So it's almost like this push-pull thing. And then Uranus is a very progressive planet, but he's stuck in Taurus, which is a very conservative sign. So there's a lot of like, we want revolution, but we also want our security, so I'm going to expect more upheaval, government, institutions, politics. I mean, just the whole 9 yards again. And I wish this was the last time they were going to come together, but they're actually going to do it one more time next year. I think in October, they're going to come within 3 degrees of each other again. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet as far as, just chaos and anarchy in the streets and governments being just not trustworthy, politicians being, shady. We're going to have to fight a lot more to get things where we want them to be. So unfortunately, that's just a reality. We've got another one of these squares. Okay, let's see. Oh, here's a good, happy thing. Okay, so Jupiter is going to be going into Pisces, which he loves. Okay, so on December 28th, Jupiter goes into Pisces, which is beautiful. Let me show you where that is here. So There we go. So he's going to be in Pisces for about a year. I think Jupiter stays in each sign for roughly about a year, maybe a little bit more. This is a great place for him. And so what this means is that people as a whole are going to feel very generous and righteous, and nonprofits are going to probably do well this coming year. People are going to feel very charitable. Underdogs, this could be your year. Jupiter loves the underdog in Pisces. Intuition for everybody is going to be more front and center. See, Jupiter is called a benefic. It is a planet that brings abundance to whatever sign he's in. And in the sign of Pisces, Pisces rules intuition and psychic ability. So I mean, we all have intuition, and it's always there. It's our own inner GPS system. But right now, for the next year, it's going to be yelling. It's not going to be whispering. So really pay attention to what your intuition is telling you. This is going to be a great year to start to learn how to trust it and see that it actually, you're never going to go wrong when you listen to your gut. Spirituality is going to probably become very important this year. People are going to find that they want a connection with the creator or God or the great spirit or whatever you want to call it, the universe. And all things mystical and woo-woo are probably gonna be in the spotlight. So yeah, that's the last astrological aspect of the month. So there's like 7 altogether, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it on the shorter side. I know some videos, astrological monthly reports, are very, very long, and they're great if you have the time. But a lot of people, especially in December, are rushing around. We don't have a lot of time this month in particular. So maybe next time I'll keep it, make it a little bit longer. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you bore with me, because this is my first Zoom recording, astrological recording. So I'm kind of winging it as I go along here. Okay, take care and happy holidays. Bye.